Hey, what's up guys? Bruce here. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on formula mapping within Fruity Loop Studio. This is a technique that's used in the mixer. It's great, great technique for using within the program Massive, especially on basses. But I'm going to be showing you this today on bass, but this technique can be used for any kind of synths, leads, pretty much any effect, any virtual instrument that you are using. This technique can be used for, and it's great. It's a great way to take your sound to the whole next level and just really get more of a control on what's happening. Right here I got an example of in one of my songs here of this technique I use, and you can hear it right here. And you can kind of see here in the EQ how it's moving in sync with any modulation. And that's being controlled right here on this waveform right here. Don't pay attention to this purple one, just this red one here. This is what's controlling that. And it's also controlling all the filters, parameters within the program Massive. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to be showing you today, how to do that. And it makes a big difference. So if you listen, with or without, here's without. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so I kind of got something here started. Just a few notes in F, and about the third register down. And for the point of this tutorial, I'm just going to be using a simple deep throat waveform. And all I'm really going to be touching is filter 1, filter 2, do a little bit of ring modulation, and phase. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to start off with a performer here. Just one of these default performers I use. This is just for the sake of getting that sound. I'm going to start off. We're only going to be working with just that one oscillator, so we're going to mute those out. And the only two filters we're going to be using one double notch on the top, bottom one a band reject. Make sure these are sending into each other. This all the way down, this all the way up. So both filters are working together. So first step, take the performer. We're going to set that here. And the intensity, you're going to bring that right about to the middle. And bring it all the way over to the right. We're going to keep our wavetable a little under half. Bring our amp down just a little under half as well. Take the performer, drop that in there, and bring it all the way down to the right. Next, we're going to do a ring modulation. I'm going to put that in the first oscillator. Going to drop our performer in there. Keep that at the bottom, bring it just about to the top. Next phase, first oscillator. I'm going to drop our performer there, keep that at the bottom, bring that right about to the top too. We're going to kind of fiddle with that just to get a good sound. The point of this tutorial is not to make an awesome bass and Massive. I'm not really sure how this is going to sound. It's going to sound different every time. This is like the third tutorial I've done, so you know it sounds different every time. But pretty much just the point of this tutorial is that technique I showed you in the EQ in the mixer. So yeah, so next take your performer again. We're going to put it in the cutoff of the double notch. Keep your cutoff all the way at the bottom, bring it a little over the top. Band reject. We're gonna put our performer only in the cutoff. We're gonna keep that about a little over half, and then bring that down maybe to the bottom. We're gonna fiddle with this just because this is where the body of the bass really comes in, and I need to hear. You're gonna have to hear this in order to really get a good tone. So just to give this more loudness too, a little more grit, we're gonna put a clipper down there about halfway, and then teletube, same thing, just about halfway. Also, I forgot to mention this deep throat. We're gonna put that waveform in bend plus. Make sure everything's in here. Okay, let's play this. And it sounds pretty weak, so we're going to turn it up a little bit. And just going to mess around with the band reject to kind of get a good sound there. Oh yeah, we're gonna need to turn our phase to 1 down. You can see what's going here working. Oh yeah. Also, when you start a new sound, make sure envelope 4, your attack, your level, and the release is appropriate. So everything is all one volume. This sounds a little better. Let's tweak this a little bit. Alright, that sounds alright. So next we're going to take that, we're going to drop that, you can drop that into any mixer track. Let's put it into insert 4. Open up EQ2. You can use any EQ. I mean, this technique might be able, you might be able to use this in Ableton, Logic, or any other DAW. So you take your EQ, here we'll see it over here. You can see all your frequencies across the spectrum. I'm going to go back into massive. Now everywhere that the performer is, what you're going to want to do is you're going to take any number of your macros, an empty macro. You're going to drop that into everywhere where you put that put the performer. So you're going to want that in intensity, your cutoff, everywhere that this, every same spot where that performer is. Make sure you do not leave one out. Let's see. I just always like to double check, just something I do. So yeah, now we're back to that, just that bass note. No modulation in it at all. We're gonna take this pattern, put in a song, just so we, for this next point I'm gonna make. So after you've done that, after you've taken that macro and dropped into all your performers, you're gonna go here into your options. You're gonna browse parameters. Click on that macro. You're gonna see these are all the parameters within Massive. This is every knob, every switch, everything that pretty much that you turn in this program is located right here in your browser. So you're gonna click right here in your macro. That's gonna bring you right to it. Macro 1, right there. You're gonna right click it, create automation clip. Now in your song here, you're gonna see right here, this is your automation line right here. And you see pattern 1, those are those 2 notes playing. So now just start making shapes. Just start making them like this. This is where the fun begins. Now see, everything that was in Massive is now being controlled by this automation clip. It's a really cool technique. It's not as smooth as the performer inside is Massive. So some of your shortcuts like this, you know, they tend to get smoothed over. I don't know how to get around it, but this is great for bass hits, long notes. Just overall, if you need control, a good control on that note or any sound, this is a great way to do it. And also, this is necessary for the formula mapping within the EQ. So go like that. Make a few shapes that you need to, so you know what sound you're gonna get. Go back into the mixer. Open up your EQ. Whoops. So you open up your EQ. Now for this tutorial, I'm only going to be doing the first and 7th one here, parameter or whatever. Take the bandwidth, cut it all the way down on both of those. Take this, put it in steep 8. Both of them steep 8. We don't need the bandwidth so much, but try and get, nice and smooth there with, so you got a good cut on your lows and your highs. You can do this with any number of these. I'm just going to do it for the point of this tutorial. Now, the only thing we're going to be messing with here is the frequencies. This is the only thing we're going to be doing with the formula mapping. So we're going to start here. We'll start with the high end. You're going to right click on that frequency, link to controller. Now this is where the magic happens. You're going to go here and you're going to assign that to macro 1. That same automation clip from the song pattern. And here's where it gets fun. So right here is where you enter the formula. I know FL Studio Online has they have a page demonstrating all different types of formulas. They can get pretty complicated. For the point of this, pretty much, I'll just show you right here. We're gonna put this at 1 dash input asterisk 0.5, and then we're gonna preview it. See that line, how it moves? Pretty much 1 is the top, 0.5 right to the bottom. 1, pretty much in the EQ, 1 means pretty much all the way over here, 10,000 plus. And then 0.5 will bring you down to here, to midway. And that's in correlation to the automation that I've done on macro 1 right here that's assigned to. So we're going to hit accept. And now you're going to see this start to perform with the automation along with all the parameters that were in massive. Pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's working right there with it. And that's pretty much just a cutoff of where it's going. When I enter 0.5, that's the cutoff of the lowest point on this automation. So you're going to do this one more time, or I'm just going to do this one more time. On the low end, link to controller, macro 1. Now this says remove conflicts. Every time you assign more than one thing to an automation, just don't click it. You won't have any issues. If you click it, I can't remember what it does, but it'll totally fuck up your sound. So we're going to just do the opposite here. We're going to leave nothing over there to the left to input, but we're going to do asterisk 0.5. We're going to bring that so they're meeting in the middle. Press enter to preview. You see it's working from the bottom to halfway, meaning it's going to work from over here on the left to the middle. Going to hit accept. Now you're going to see them both working together. And you start getting that really massive sound. A lot of cool frequencies happening in there, moving around. And ooh, yeah, that's badass. So that's pretty much the technique there. And you can apply this to any other plugin. A cool one is Chorus. I like to do this sometimes. Take the LFOs out, bring your delay down, stereo, put it at 90. I don't know, just mess with it. Just keep the delay down. Make sure your LFOs, that's important. Make sure those are out so nothing's like intermingling there. And do the same thing. You just right click depth, link to controller, macro 1, input, start at 0.1 dash, and then do asterisk 0.3. Whoops, nope, that's totally wrong. We're going to do negative 0.3. And hit accept, and you're going to see the depth working now. And now you can see the depth of the chorus working with that, together with that, everything working together with just that automation. And this is, like I said, this is great for hits on the one, pretty much anything, and just pretty much just mess around with it until you get that sound. And so yeah, I hope this tutorial is helpful. You know, use this technique and just have fun with it. You could use this with any waveform. It doesn't have to be deep throat. You know, cycle through, find that sound you want. Yeah, I mean, it comes out pretty gnarly there. So, yeah, if you found this helpful, give me a thumbs up. Check out my SoundCloud. Should be a description in the link. And I don't know, send me some clips if you know, let me know if this helped you at all. And if it did, I'll post more videos like this and a lot more techniques and other stuff that I like to do and have fun with. Other than that, peace and love. Later.